Well, greetings YouTube. It is Cinco de Mayo, so happy Cinco de Mayo, and if you're not familiar with the holiday, it celebrates a victory over the Gabacho. The French got their asses handed to them by some Mexicans, and now we use it as an excuse to drink tequila and play with Kirby's and all sorts of other things. So what we are doing right now is I'm going to show you probably my favorite Kirby vacuum, one of my favorite vacuums of all time that's available. And I would put this under budget vacuums because these can be had anywhere from free to about maybe $150 at a vacuum shop if they've put some work into it. They're just not worth a lot, and they're super nice vacuums. So let's get into what we have here. So as always, we have a Kirby upright, we have a hose, we have some various accessories, which I will go through in a minute, and a shampooer in the box that's never been used. So my Kirby, I didn't do a video on this because I've got other videos. My Kirby is a 1988. So this was the last year of the Legend Heritage II before they went to the Legend II that we saw Mr. Beko show off on his YouTube channel, which is actually my all-time favorite color of Kirby, but I digress. There is also a turbo model available, and as you can see, the turbo model of this part is different. And what was introduced with the turbo model was, of course, the Kirby Turbo, which, if you're not familiar with, is a very, very strange tool. Mine is missing a part, so I need to find that. I'm sorry, I was unable to find that for the video. But this guy basically spins, and that's your spinning brush there, and then these are stationary as lint pickers. And the turbine actually comes out if you wanted to clean it. So that's a Kirby Turbo, and they introduced this with the Kirby Turbo, I believe, 1985, 1986-ish. So maybe earlier. Anyways, I'm sure somebody can correct me who Kirby-gasms more than I do. So let's talk about the Heritage II, because I've talked about it before, but if you haven't seen those videos, I'll include a link in the description below. So this is probably the best design that they came out with, because it's got a couple of things going for it. So let's open the belt lifter. Oh, the sound of that it just gets me. And you can see that this has the same fan design. I know I'm sticking my finger in there with it plugged in, as the current model Avalier 2 or any of the Generation series. And the other thing I like about it is, you can see it uses the same vacuum bags, so I get the benefit of that HEPA bag in there. So that's something really, really nice. The other thing, while we're on the subject of the bag, is, as we know, these hoses eventually will break down in here over time. This one's been replaced. So you can actually, without any tools on this model, this has just got a spring around here. You can actually remove the outer bag if you need to wash it. Probably the easiest way. So while we're taking two of the rest of the vacuum, show you what's on the back. We have your on-off switch, and you'll notice that my light has caved in, but there is actually a light that turns on up there, and that's not going to do anything because we have the safety switch engaged. This has a nozzle safety switch, which most Kirbys do, and that is what this job over here does. Now, on later models, there's actually a speed control built into this, and on some of the classic models there are too. So before we put the nozzle back on, so you have two rows of bristles on here, which is kind of cool, versus just the one on each side like the Kirby Classics had, but two rows of bristles, so as many as a Generation series. And then one thing that has to be done immediately, if it hasn't been done already, if you get one of these, is you have to upgrade it to the ball bearing brush roller. If you have one of these with the sleeve bearing in there, it's just asking for failure, and For as inexpensive as these brush rollers are, at the time of the video you can find these brush rollers on the street anywhere from 18 bucks up to about 60 bucks if you really at some sort of ritzy vacuum shop, but you can find them. Kind of a nice thing about Kirby's, they've always put instructions on there how to do this belt lifter thing. And if you're not familiar with the Kirby belt lifter, what it's actually doing is it's lifting the belt up off the motor shaft, and then it will lift it back on the motor shaft. So to do this, you put the Kirby in the upright position. You take the knob, make sure it's on there. Now do that. So one thing I want to note about this particular model, I don't have a light bulb in here. I haven't gotten around to getting one. You have to get it from an auto parts store. You actually can't get that from a vacuum distributor anymore. So I haven't got one of those. And then you'll notice that my Kirby is kind of a weird color. So I actually put this in my dishwasher and washed the entire thing except for this light assembly. And you can really see the difference there. So I haven't gotten around to buffing it either. But I want to make a video on it because, again, somebody else did, Mr. Beko, and I wanted to shout out from across the pond and show off mine. So I'll maybe make a video of me buffing this and restoring it. So the other thing about the Heritage that's really kind of cool is, I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but the emptier is clear. And the emptier is what they call this chamber here on the Kirby. On newer Kirbys it just goes straight through. Actually, Kirbys are like 25 years newer. Kirby's made 10, 15 years after this still had a similar emptier, but it wasn't clear. So I guess there was a Kirby G3 that had a clear bottom for a little while. Anyways, but that's my point. So the other thing about this is there is no self-propel. You have the regular wheels, and I'm gonna give you guys an idea just real quick here. You see the wheels are smaller in back, larger in front, kind of like a Royal on that idea that you have this triangle shape here, which helps you maneuver the vacuum. Really, really nice. Other thing we have here I will show you is you have the traditional height adjustment. They call it the Micromatic. Just really cool. And by the way, if you're not following us on Instagram, please go ahead and follow us on Instagram. I do all sorts of cool pictures during repair through the day. And we're just kind of trying to start that out. Also, like us on Facebook if you're not. And if you have a question unrelated to this video, definitely go to our Facebook page and ask it there. You save the comment section for your experience with the Kirby Heritage II. So that's the overall vacuum. And you have a pretty long cord. The cord's like 35 feet on here, and it just wraps on here. And this is actually the same cord hook they use on some of the newer Kirbys, so that's kind of cool. So let's get into the accessories. I'm going to show you practical use of the vacuum accessories. Up, time to clean bare floor with the Kirby. Well, better convert it. Almost done. We better put all that out of the way. right, we've got our canister vacuum, beautifully right here, ready to go. I've never seen the canister hand vacuum version. Let's not forget this is a Kirby. Got this convenient S wand. Alright, we're ready to clean bare floor. As you can see, this process isn't the most practical. You know, even though Kirby does this on every single vacuum, it's just not the most practical. The lack of water lift or suction, not the airflow, for bare floor cleaning is frustrating. Because I'll show you, excuse the camera shake, cat litter just wouldn't suck up any of that. So it really is a bare floor vacuum. They're almost useless. Let's try it as a stair vac. Alright, well now that we're done cleaning our bare floors, or done cleaning at least with Kirby's, let's convert it back to its stair vac. Alright, it is in stair vac cleaning mode. That's just about the heaviest stair vac I've ever used. I think that's a little bit too big for most people to use in the stairs. So now let's convert it back, now that we're done with that. I know the Generation series, they made this easier, but so what I'm actually doing when we remove the handle is you're removing this pin, which has a little bit of oil on it. to allow it to go in properly. Alright. Ready for regular cleaning. Alright, well that was fun. So let's go over what else you get other than a bare floor tool. So the hose on the Heritage is actually quite short. It's about a 6-foot hose. You could extend this if you wanted to, and I think on the Legend 2 they did make it longer. So short hose. Let's talk about the accessories. Now these on the newest Kirby's you just get a bag. You don't get this plastic thing. But the idea behind this plastic thing is you mount this on the wall and it hangs all your accessories, or you put it in the closet or whatnot. So let's explain all that's here. So I showed already the stair carry handle. And this also came with a sling on here too. I think it's one of the only things I don't have for my Kirby. There is this guy. And people often wonder what this is and why you would use it. So I'm going to explain that because it is actually kind of useful. So on my bench, I test electrical connectivity, and to test the switch to make sure it's good, I actually use these on my bench. But one reason the customer would use this, so you could use mothballs or air freshener in the bag, and that would be one purpose for using this. The other purpose, which I will demonstrate, is Kirby's are also blowers. So every Kirby you can attach this. Gotta do it just right on this one. Right there. And now we have a blower, and you could blow up a mattress, a red balloon, whatever your thing is. Yeah. Of course, now you've just blown all your dirt in here and in the hose into the air, so not really smart, and that's why you don't see blower attachments on most vacuums anymore. So that is the purpose of that. Now, a detail I like about this accessory holder that they stopped doing, I'm going to take, I'll name the accessories and then I'll show you this detail. So they give you a dusting brush. You can see they're plastic bristles. It's got the Kirby logo. They give you standard upholstery tool. Nothing special about this, but it's there. This is something people get confused about. So some people use this for upholstery or their bare floor brush, but the actual purpose of this is a wall brush. You're supposed to use this in conjunction with this, and you're supposed to clean your walls. Now they give you a couple elbows here. They give you this one with the rotation. Notice the suction has bled here, which is kind of silly. And then this, they also give you this elbow as well. Then on this, they give you that classic mono wand, and this one does not have holes here. Some of them did. Then this is a massage cup, which you usually can use with the sucker or the blower. No, that doesn't sound right. This is your bare floor area rug tool. Very primitive. You can see where just right there, I kind of scratched up just using it just now, and that's normal. I think that's probably the first time it's ever been used. And then the other thing they give you is a crevice tool on there as well. And I have an extra dusty brush on there, and then there's this. So they also give you a Sudzo gun. So what you do is the Sudzo gun in the blower configuration, you put your chemical in here and you will shampoo, but not extract, with your Sudzo gun. And you can see the words Sudzo gun. The other thing that I have seen think it was in a rainbow or an old, it could have been an old Kirby, but you could also use it as a spray painter. Yeah, I guess if you're super domesticated. So, and this is nice because it's got the big Kirby logo there. Kirby quality, all that right there. Part number. What's really cool, sorry about that, is we have where to put all the accessories on here, and I think that's actually important because a lot of people never put these things back right, and these always come in my work in an original box or in a trash bag or something. I never see people actually put them back right. Some engineer figured out the best order to stick these all on, so the least you can do is do that and use it. I think that's supposed to go that way. That way the Kirby logos are showing. And you can see, you know, now we're so used to onboard tools, you can kind of see where this would be quite ancient by today's standards, and Kirby's still practicing this. So again, as much as I love my Kirbys, I think they are quite ancient by today's standards in terms of practicality. I discussed that I thought they had less power on the vacuum forms. See, everything has its place where this is made. Put that back wrong. And people seem to think Kirbys are the end-all of power, and they're just not. As I showed you there. All right, so we got the manual here. Now available in VHS and beta. And looks like this one came from Kansas City. We got Scott Spitzer, 1984. So we have all the first picture. We have all this great stuff. The new Kirby Caddy, which I just showed. We have the massager sander, the Sudzo gun, that sling I told you I was missing. The bags, which again we're running the HEPA bags. The box. The boxes are really cool that these things come in. I actually have that jar of suds unused. Oh, we got some paperwork here. So let's assess that. All right. So this Kirby was bought in 1988. Looks like this Kirby, the cash price right here would have been $1,288. They did a trade-in, $650 for their old Kirby. Total down payment plus 2, so it looks like $763 plus. So following the math here, it would appear that the machine, the deal that they got was $870 some with this, judging by here. And I actually have the customer's original information here, which I'm not going to share with you all because I'll keep their privacy. So this opens up, this folds out quite nicely, this leaflet. They kind of show you how to take it apart. I said the bag came off easy earlier, it sure does. They have all those parts, and this really wouldn't separate as a customer. That's strange. When we see I'm missing the Crevice Tool brush, the extension wands. Oh, it's a utility brush for walls, bare floor, and ceiling. So I guess they did sell it for bare floors as well. Becoming a Kirby owner. I'll let you guys take a look at all that. So we're just going to go through. This is kind of cool. So this is an era where printing like 2 or 3 colors was cheaper than printing full color. So showing you how to change the bag. It's interesting is they have the older style bag for the Heritage 1 in here. Heritage 2, yeah, it's a Heritage 2 manual. So that's interesting that that's there. And when we look at the table of contents here, it's a little bit different. So, talking about that. we're going to, they talk about the reusable bag, which was optional. I can't imagine how, yeah. I also explained the mini emptier, as we talked about earlier. I'll explain this guy to us as well. It's always interesting to see things. Oh, the Micromatic adjustment right there. You can actually adjust it. Bet you the sales guy, if he was good, would adjust that to their carpet so they could just drop it flat. Brush roller indicator, performance indicator, BPI. How fancy. And they have the sweeping pattern. I mean, the things that are just in here. Oh, I guess you're supposed to use this for mattress cleaning, not just stair cleaning. Tank canister cleaner. They explain that. Alright. So, we're going to take a look at her. Wow. There's the massage cup. Again, they're showing some stuff to some older cleaners. And I was talking about the inflation device. And they talk about the Sudzo gun. How to use the Sudzo gun, which again, there's no extraction. That always got me. Now I'm going to talk about the Shampooer, which I will show you the Shampooer. Rug renovation, and it was stamped on here, not registered properly. Optional. So, I'm going to show you the rug renovator, the Stoppo suds, the floor polisher, and carpet fluffer. Because again, there's no extraction on Kirby Shampooers. The zip brush or turbo brush, again, optional, and this one's registered proper. The turbo sander, these are really cool. They made these until really recently on the Generation Series machines. Again, not registered right. Somebody else just actually going through and hand stamping that. And then we can see the Kirby cleaning products and the limited warranty and Kirby's rebuild plan, their fire plan, the send back plan. I've got all the original paperwork. I guess I should have sent it to Kirby. And then that VHS Betamax. So that's really cool that I have the receipt and the finance contract and all that for this Kirby. So that's what's in the manual. Let's talk about what's in the box. So there would be the floor buffer. Ran out group only. It's interesting. Belt markings. I'm going to go ahead and point out that this Suds O-Tank has never been used. Most likely. So I will explain how the Shampooer works. Alright. So this is, again, they expect you to be disassembling and reassembling this stuff, which a lot of customers don't do. I know somebody's going to comment below, say, oh, it's easy. Well, yes, it is easy if you understand mechanical things and how things work, but a lot of people who buy these machines do not. A lot of people just don't understand this sort of stuff, especially in this day and age when people don't seem to fix things or understand how to fix things. Alright. So, oh my gosh. You think that belt's rotted? That belt is, oh, that took a bit of force. The Kirby quality sticker fell off it. So maybe it has been used. Sure, it looks pretty clean. So this guy goes on the front of here. Again, it looks like it may have been kind of an afterthought. So then your tank, you would fill up, and we're not going to actually shampoo with this because again there's no extraction, so therefore I'd have to go run an extractor, and this stuff leaves carpets kind of sticky, kind of nasty. I've never been a fan of this. Again, not why you buy a Kirby So this is the Stoppo sud. So, alright, put this in. I think I need to put some furniture polish on here to help this move a little easier. So the way the Stoppo sud works is when you wanted shampoos or suds, you would do that. Then when you wanted to stop, you would do this. What's interesting about doing this is it's blowing air in here, which then blows the water and the suds up through here. When you do this, air can flow through here. When you do this, no air is flowing through there. So I'm curious, if I attach this, what happens? So I'm just gonna... Oh. That sound is from me not doing that. Two things just happened here. So we found out the air does not get too restricted, that there's enough play for it to bleed out otherwise. And then the other thing happened is I broke that really old belt on there, just in half. Ooh, it's warm. Luckily I got a spare right there. And the thing about Kirby belts, why we're talking about that, again, why I think these machines are so impractical, great if they're on budget, and the fun factor is definitely there with Kirby's. Your Kirby belt should have knurls on it. Should move like this. This is a rotted belt. Both of these are rotted belts. So yeah. So that's the shampooer. Again, we're going to take this off. And can you imagine a housewife trying to do this? I just can't imagine a housewife or somebody trying to do this every time they need to use their accessories. To give you an idea of the mess that's been made here on this. Alright, so on newer Kirby's, this has a plastic tray in it. This one we have a piece of wax paper, which I thought was charming. Put the hose back. Back, and then I've got the optional carpet fluffer floor buffer right there. I'm going to see if my Sudzo gun would fit in here if I disassemble it. I mean, the Sudzo gun's never been used, the gasket's still in there. Yeah, the Sudzo gun will fit in there as well. It's always kind of my thing. And then the manuals always fit on top. The Renault Group, Kirby Heritage II. Optional. And again, this is just incredibly a lot of stuff for a little bit of vacuuming. Now, one thing, it is a safety hazard on this Kirby, and there's a big warning right here to unplug it, but you could stick your finger in there and get touched by the fan if you want to add some excitement to your day. And one thing to check, these break. These get old and brittle and break. So you want to check the lockup, and you can see very clearly if one of these is broken. Luckily mine is not. So yeah. That is my Kirby Heritage II. That was given to me. So I didn't pay anything for this, except for the fan, the belt, and the bag tube, and the bags. So as always, please like, subscribe, comment below. I want to give a big shout out to all of the Patreons who support the channel. You're really making the channel go round, considering we haven't gotten updated yet by YouTube whether we're going to get full monetization or not. So I've been waiting months on that. Still waiting on that, YouTube. So please go like us on Facebook. Give the video a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button.